It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. Yesterday was 9/11. 9/11 was the worst, one of the worst displays that humanity had to offer. That was the worst of times. The next day, 9/12, was the best that humanity had to offer. Hi, my name is Victoria Medina, and welcome to One Nation Scoop, a place where we have a positive and uplifting conversation about America. And I wanted to honor 9/11 and talk about 9/11. But today I really want to focus on 9/12, because 9/12 was the day that showed such an incredible display of humanity and a unity around the world that I have never seen or experienced before. And when I read about it and I think about it, it still is just a vivid, vivid memory. And it also is a testament of what we all have inside and what we can all give to each other and to the world. Because on 9/12, we started hearing the stories of all of the incredible heroes and heroines, people who lost their lives rushing into the building, and the people who saved lives helping people coming out. There is a gentleman, his name is Keith. And he was not a police officer or a firefighter. He was a chef. And he is credited with saving hundreds of lives because he helped everyone on the 96th floor get out. And when he was walking down with everybody, he got to the 78th floor and he saw a woman in a wheelchair and he helped her. And his mother said he could have gotten out alive. But because of him, hundreds of people survived. And in reading more about the things that happened on 9/12, I read about how Queen Elizabeth II, for the first time ever, during the changing of the guards, had them play the Star-Spangled Banner. NATO said to America, "We are there for you. We are behind you. We're there to help." The French said, "We are all American." Iran and Syria, the leaders of Iran and Syria condemned the attacks, and people in mosque were praying for us. Humanity. Extraordinary. Just extraordinary. And I've since thought about how it was so unifying. There was such a feeling of compassion on a global level. And the beauty about remembering that, especially today, is because it is there. And it is upsetting that the leaders of that time did not run with that and take them and take all of us together and uplift us with that humanity. And I've been thinking about that for a long time. And I was watching another video with Oprah Winfrey was talking to a guest. And I don't remember who the guest was at the time, but I remember somebody screaming out for her to run for president. And you could tell she was very moved and very humbled. And she said, no, it's not her calling. But I thought, if we all ran for president in terms of how we feel we want our leaders to be, if we all are those leaders in our own right, we can create leaders that we want and uplift the people to be the leaders that we want them to be. So instead of saying to Oprah, who, like everybody else, yes, I would love for Oprah to be president too, because she's an extraordinary woman, that we can all be extraordinary. The gifts that we see in her, that we're asking her to please lead, we can lead today with each other, with our family, with our friends, with our community, with those around us. And the more we show those displays of leadership, of uplifting, and being better than we were before, or like Abraham Lincoln said, being our better angels, we will be able to lead each other towards finding those representatives to then lead on a bigger level. And I think about that a lot. And so I'm thinking today, 9/12, in honor of what happened on 9/11 and everything that has transpired since, all the wars, all the loss of life, all that's going on today in this country and around the world, let us reach out and be the leaders that we want those to be. In honor of, I will leave you with this last story. And so yesterday I went down to the memorial, and I went into where they have the waterfalls, and around it are all the names. And when you see a name in print, that person truly comes alive for you. So there I was standing there, and there's two areas which signifies where the two buildings were standing. And I'm standing there, and all of these people's lives just came to me. I could just feel all of them. I was sharing about how the names of the people on the wall came alive to me. I remember visiting Washington and going to Arlington Cemetery. And I love reading. And there was this long marble wall. And I started reading the speech that was on the wall. And I'm reading it, and it got to the last 4 lines. I was like, I know this speech. And it said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, 35th President of the United States. And I turned, and there was the eternal flame, and there he was resting right behind me. But in that moment, he was alive. And he will continue to be alive. And with those words, and in honor of the names of everyone on those walls, in honor of what happened that day and everything that has happened since, let's discover what we can do to help and change and be our better angels. We have common bonds. The Charters of Freedom, I say this all the time, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, amazing documents, read them. How can we aspire to be a better union? A better union. So how can we be better each day? How can you be better each day? So in honor of 9/12, that's my question that I leave. And it's basically the question that I leave every week. But I'm trying, but I want to hear from you. And it can be, how do you just talk to your friends or talk to your family, or how to leave a message below and share what you think, what you can do every day when you think of an intention have an intention of how I can do better and how that could have a ripple effect and affect everybody around you. Just an intention for it. Something small. Maybe a compliment. Maybe saying thank you. Maybe if somebody cuts you off, not getting so upset with them. Maybe it's what Wayne Dyer says, let's stop getting offended. And let's start thinking about how we can just be better, more compassionate, more giving, more thoughtful. There's so many words that come to mind, but the most important thing that I'm just trying to think of here are all those people who lost their lives on 9/11, all the people who inspired me on 9/12 and continue to inspire me today. So thank you for joining me today. Please leave a message below. Contact us. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you're thinking, what suggestions you have. And until next time, remember, there is no America for me unless there is an America for you. Thank you.